I have American Made, which stars Tom Cruise as Tom Cruise. Because he's no longer, like, an actor. I think he's just a persona. So it's Tom Cruise with a southern accent. He's actually playing Barry Seal, who was recruited by the CIA to do recon on South America, which is absolutely crazy. He ends up getting involved with the CIA, the Medellin cartel, and a whole bunch of higher-ups, and I won't spoil that because it gets bananas at the end of the film. Yeah. It's based on a true story, but if you've been watching Narcos, I think you'll be vaguely familiar with some of the plot line that's happening in South America at this time. Yeah. It's a whole war on drugs. So I feel like it's in vogue right now to talk about South American drug runners and things like that. I think this movie was just a huge excuse for Tom Cruise to fly a bunch of planes really fast. Yeah. He's actually credited as a stunt pilot in this movie. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, the performances are fine. Again, you're just watching Tom Cruise. So if you're not a fan of his, I don't think you're going to like it that much. Yep. It felt a little masculine heavy. He's this sort of southern, I don't want to say, he's not a bumpkin, but he's like, he's just this like unexpected person to be dragged into this huge scandal world political event. And American Made is just this crazy story that I don't think could exist. I mean, I'm sure it actually secretly is happening nowadays, but yeah. I think people got away with a lot more back in the late 70s and 80s just because of, there's now not surveillance anywhere. The fact that we had to fly a giant plane to go do recon and surveillance on South America, like various different countries there. Yeah, so he was playing both sides, which is crazy. And then he got away with it, but I'm sure then again people nowadays are playing both sides, and the money is money. It's American made. It's living the American dream. And so I think we have this weird obsession with all these people who really we should be putting in jail, but we are like fantasizing and romanticizing them by making all these movies about them, which is very bizarre. But I do have to say, so this weekend is a biopic bonanza because there are 2 other biopics coming out. I'm going to give American Made a 3.7 out of 5 because I did enjoy it. I didn't love it, but I had a good time watching it. It's 2 hours long and it feels like they condensed a lot of stuff into those 2 hours, which is good and bad, right? Because you're like, how much else is going to happen during this? But yeah, so also I should give a shout out to Battle of the Sexes, which is the Billie Jean King biopic, and it stars Emma Stone and Steve Carell. I really like this one. I think it's super relevant, especially given all the athlete protests happening right now. And like Billie Jean King's a hero for standing up for like women's rights and equality, LGBTQ things, Title IX. And I thought it was actually just like really interesting movie. Another one of those biopic movies based on a true event that more people would have known about. I didn't know about it. It just happened before I was born. It was really entertaining. That's the thing. So I give it credit for that. I'm going to give that one 3.9 out of 5. Whoa. You should go see that. And then if you're a slightly older skewing crowd, there's Victoria and Abdul, which stars Dame Judi Dench, who I watch in anything, and Ali Fazal. And it's the recently unearthed true story of Queen Victoria's close friendship with a Muslim Indian servant who like just gets brought over arbitrarily to celebrate her golden jubilee. And then they just become like super homies, and which of course upsets the entire British household, which I thought was interesting that it's not been known until now. Like her family buried this story. They burned all the evidence of it. So that one's 3.5 out of 5, but you gotta love Judi Dench. That's a rental. That's a rental, or like if you're not into drug running or women's rights, then you can go see Victoria and Abdul. I think if you're looking for a quiet weekend, Victoria and Abdul might be fine.